further ado, let's begin. First thing I'm noticing, this place really looks like it's in Montreal. It's a 514, so I'm pretty sure it is in Montreal, and I'm pretty sure I know where this building is in Montreal, because I used to live there. Fun fact about me.
This ordinary building in the heart of Montreal is home to a mysterious game studio that, out of nowhere, became the world's largest platform of adult...
Out of nowhere? Really? Out of nowhere, okay.
Games. From a struggling game studio, they outgrew Steam in player numbers shockingly fast. Too fast. Ironically, their games pop up on Steam, famous YouTubers promote them.
Well, obviously, think of what the past couple years have been for most people, right? With the whole Rona going around, people's perception of dating and talking to people has completely changed, right? I went from never talking... I had a Discord app for the longest time, and I never used it until Rona. When I got Rona, I started using dating apps more. I started using Discord more. I started playing online games more. I started FaceTiming people, which is something I've never done in my life because I couldn't talk to anybody. Now, if you're like me and you're 30... You've already entered the dating world and the friendship world before the development of apps, before texting was a thing too much. Because I remember my friends were like, hey, don't text me before 5 p.m. or don't call me before 5 because my minutes are free starting after 5 o'clock. So if you're like me and you had already established yourself before Rona, after Rona, it was fairly easy, fairly simple to get back to the way things used to be. However, imagine you're 15 or you're entering high school or you're entering college for the first time. College is a place where a lot of people learn to socialize appropriately, because I was always a social person. I did not know how to socialize. It's two very different things. And I learned that in college. So a lot of people who never had the opportunity to go to grade, I think it's 11 or Sec 5 in Quebec, or never had the opportunity to go to in-person college, never picked up those skills during that time period. And one of the negative effects of that is people going to the internet to find that companionship, to find that intimacy, unfortunately. 19 seconds into the video and we're already yapping away. All right.
And yet no one knows who they really are. Officially, they go by Nutaku, or the steamy Steam that wants to revolutionize the games industry one hand at a time. So they say. But as a marketer myself, their instant success did raise my eyebrows. I asked for interviews but was denied every single time. And so I kept digging to uncover their three-part strategy to success, why they're so secretive, and who's really pulling the strings behind these.
Well, of course they're going to be secretive. They're doing adult entertainment and they're selling it on Steam. I know Steam does require age verification, but you could just put in whatever date that you want. You grab mommy or daddy's credit card, or you buy a Steam card from whatever shop you can, and then you buy your adult game, and guess what? You're just 13 years old. So obviously, they do not want to be tied to any minors getting their hands on these games.
I'll
let it play for like 2 minutes. I won't say anything. I'll stop talking.
Exploring the world of Nutaku wasn't just an eye-opener. It was an eye-popper. Ooh. The things I saw, I wish I could unsee them. But hey, I learned a ton about their strategies that you really want to stick around for, because before their rapid growth, they too were just another little small struggling game studio trying to survive in an industry where less than 1% of games find success. You know what I'm talking about. And so, as Super Hippo Studios, they released a couple of titles which didn't really click with players. One of their tower defense games managed to be on the App Store's front page, but it lost against Plants vs. Zombies 2, which launched just the same week. It's tough for any new game studio to stand out these days, and many give up, and they too were about to throw in the towel. But then, out of the blue, they decided to shift to an industry that's not any less challenging, but definitely less crowded: adult games. lucrative, untapped potential, and in dire need of quality gameplay. And so Super Hippo Studios rebranded as Nutaku to capitalize on this untapped market.
I think it's pronounced Nut Taku. Just my guess.
A no-brainer, as we all know, sells. In fact, adult games have been around since the 70s with the likes of Leisure Suit Larry and soft porn adventures on DOS. But then Nintendo in the 90s made gaming all about kids.
Unfortunately.
How could they? And so sex and violence in games sparked overreactions, and the ratings board was introduced. With the Kiss of Death label, adults only. Any game with this label just sells less copies. And just like that, Western adult games went quiet.
Which is super weird. It's over a minute, which is super weird because, I mean, you have sex in books, you have sex in movies, you have sex in shows, but if you put it in games, that's where we're crossing the line. That's hard line. Why? I think the first time I saw a sex scene in a movie, I was like 10, to be fair. And then the first time I saw a sex scene in a video game, I was 13, which isn't that, I should probably stop saying that word. Which I was 13, and it wasn't a big deal. Like, really not a big deal. Mind you, the game was rated M for everyone. It was God of War, the first one, when you go in that boat scene. You know what? That is a fraction of the game that not even everybody even experiences. And it was such a big deal. And yet, they're just popping off on TV, all goddamn, in music videos. In, like, one of them, I'm gonna sound so old here, but one of them, like, rapper videos back in 2013, you just had girls busting it down on all these cars, and no one even batted an eye. And I was like a kid watching these videos, and it wasn't a problem. Why is it in games?
Now game makers try to sneak in love by tiptoeing around that label. Alien romance options, CJ in a secret minigame, skippable scenes in The Witcher, and Cyberpunk, no idea how they managed to dodge the adults-only label with a mere 17+ rating. Nutaku, however, has a leg up.
No penetration.
No tiptoeing required. With over 500 games, both free-to-play and paid, they even attracted a fast-growing female audience that proudly brags about their pet interruptions. That's not your everyday game stat, is it? But hey, they're so profitable now, they even help struggling game developers who didn't make it in the traditional games market. They take their games that didn't make it on Steam and adultify them. That's a huge part of their core business. Crush, for instance.
That's genius. That is genius. Go find a bunch of failing games, adultify them, make the studio known. That is a genius plan. Oh my god, wow.
Instance, developed by Sad Panda, didn't really take off on Steam. So Nutaku funded some, let's say, enhancements, and the game is now a hit on Nutaku. Their company motto clearly states that they don't gamify porn, but adultify great games. A trend that's been taken off on Steam too, judging by these charts. And so it seems that Nutaku's company mission is working, democratizing adult games one hand at a time. But that's not easy when there's a big stigma around
General
adult
practitioner
games.
too.
They're considered cheap,
nature.
low-quality porn with bad to no gameplay. Even Mr. Nintendo chimed in with a pointed critique about their bad game design. And when Fall Guys ran a campaign inviting brands to create costumes through bidding, Nutaku offered $100,000 for their design. But Fall Guys' response, "You are yeeted, not safe for work." So breaking the stigma is tough, even if there's huge demand for it. Among the top searches on Pornhub, game characters rule: Fortnite, Overwatch, Minecraft, Chun-Li, Tifa, and Sonic the Hedgehog. In any case, you see, there's...
I don't get the Sonic thing, but I know it's one of the most popular things. I don't understand, man. Why? If anybody understands, explain it to me in the comments section.
It's a gap between public perception and private consumption. A gap that Nutaku really wanted to bridge. But how do you bridge this gap if you're just a struggling game studio in dire need to survive? In order to survive, you've got to figure out what your audience wants but isn't getting. In Nutaku's case, that was the anime fans, big lovers of Japanese culture and gaming, but overlooked in the West. And what's the common denominator of anime porn in Japan? Exactly, hentai. Visual novels with explicit content, a style of Japanese erotic art that's centuries old and usually featured octopus tentacles to work around censorship. And still today, hentai is the most searched for term on, hubs, a clear goldmine for Nutaku. But rather than starting from scratch, they just turned to the east and teamed up with a big Japanese game developer who got it all figured out. DMM.
I've never heard
Nutaku
of DMM
said,
before.
"Hey DMM, let me take your games and we localize them for the Western market." That's a smart move. Take existing game, localize it, sell it in the West. You'd think that's it, cash cow found. But with that they faced a huge challenge, because hentai has a really bad reputation in the West. Underage themes.
Yeah, y'all gotta stop it with that, Japan, okay? Stop it with the... Oh, she's 300 years old, but looks and acts 12. Stop it.
Misogyny, acts of violence.
Bro, misogyny and acts of violence, you can find that anywhere. That's not a hentai thing.
And many, many other things. But Nutaku said, nope, we'll stick to the genre, but we'll put gameplay first and erotic second, and offer all sorts of genres for every sort of orientation. And that's why their website has everything to offer, from visual novels, puzzle and card games, to strategy, RPG, and even FPS. Games with rich storytelling.
Like, yeah, what's one of the weird things about video games is that, there's so much innuendo and there's so much, implications, and then also, they'll tiptoe around it and they'll show a little bit of cleavage. It's like, look, I know what you're trying to do. Just give it to me. Don't make me go on a third-party website and find it, just, hey man, give me the character model, put the game on PC, let the modding community do what they're gonna do, and let's just get it done. Just get it done. And if you're trying so hard, pun intended, if you're trying so hard to not break the rules, you're pushing it to the very, very limit. Clearly this is something that gamers want, and clearly this is something that some developers want to put in their games. So why don't we just do it? Why don't we just make things simple for everybody? Okay, I'm gonna stop that.
As you progress, you unlock more and more skin. Or you can also jump right into the fun part and check out gay, trans, or whatever that is. Dinosaurs.
Scalies.
No one's left behind. A smart strategic move. Inclusivity and good gameplay. Such good gameplay, even PewDiePie became a very special CEO.
Go to the map and visit one of the games. Oof. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I'll definitely buy it.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level of corporate performance reviews, don't you think? In any case, just like that, Nutaku was able to double their female audience and drew in 1 million players in their first year alone. Survival phase nailed. But
yeah, fun fact, women are just as horny as men, they just hide it better than we do.
Something was off. In just a year, they secured million-dollar investments and appeared in top publications. That's only possible if you have a really strong PR team and deep pockets. Otherwise, for Nutaku, this next strategic stage wouldn't have been as wild as it got.
Yeah, I wonder how they got people to invest.
So, what's the first thing you do when you've got cash and you want to grow? And you have a good PR team? Exactly. You launch viral campaigns. And what better place to start than in men's and women's bathrooms?
Genius.
Yep, that's what happened.
Genius.
Sponsored ads in toilet rooms at an industry event to recruit game developers. One for men and one for women.
I mean,
That's
it's already in my
pretty
hand,
aggressive
right?
on-site marketing for a small studio that just got started. Anyways, the marketing continued with a New York art exhibition titled Hentai is Art, all to build the brand and get Western consumers a bit more comfortable with the concept. To get them even more comfortable,
I think some of it is art. I don't think all of it is art.
Nutaku came up with yet another expensive but clever campaign. Now I, Nutaku.
It's got more naked bodies than I've ever seen.
I doubt that.
With over 500 games, Nutaku has the largest, hottest selection. You can play for free and even sort them depending on what you're into. Do you, Nutaku?
I don't know Taku, but I'm sure this lady does.
I love incest. I think that as long as you don't have babies, incest should be legal.
Or
Let's continue.
this one, both Pornhub ambassadors. Nutaku managed to feature porn celebrities in their games.
Genius.
One in Fab CEO and another one in Booty Calls.
Oh my god, that is so smart. That is so smart. Now you're not only the normies have what they want with the actual models. Now the weebs, they actually have the option to lay it down. You know. Lay down the pipe, lay down some pipe on these ladies, even though they're 2D. There's a bunch of guys out there that are too afraid to talk to women, myself included. But with this, not only can they talk to them, they can actually get it going, you know. And yes, I get it, it's not real, but for these people, it probably feels real enough. And that's what matters in the long run. And that's what we're gonna see with development of AI and AI girlfriends. The reason why AI and AI girlfriends are booming so much is because everyone who's doing it knows it's not real, but it feels real enough.
But if that's not enough to pull in millions of players, why not try Nutaku's hentai hot sauce, an aphrodisiac for gamers to get them all fired up.
A hot sauce?
And boy,
okay.
did the community get all fired up.
I would get it.
If that's not enough.
I would get it just to try. Because I know there's a lot of people that are getting it just to try. Genius marketing.
Why not launch a Nutaku-themed adult gamer chair with all the bells and whistles so you can get the full experience out of their games? Okay, I have to admit that was just a marketing gimmick by Nutaku, but their real, actual gamer chair did sell out in less than 48 hours. Just like their Boob console. It's Windows-based, silicon-covered, and comes preloaded with 200 free-to-play premium game titles. But if that's not enough, why not enter a prize pool of $10,000 for the best video that shows people playing Nutaku games while actually playing with themselves? Yes, that's...
These people are too smart. Have the people using my product advertise it for me. And then put it on all the adult websites. Because 10 grand to these people by now means absolutely nothing. So what better way? Hey, play the game while you play with yourself, put it on a website, and then tell everybody about it. And if I like it, I'm gonna send you that 10 G-notes. Genius. I wish I thought of this.
Nutaku's prime example of a marketing campaign. But it doesn't stop there. Marketing has no limits, you must know. And so why not launch Nutaku's first ever lewd gaming championship with a prize pool of $25,000? Again, all this costs. And there's no public information out there on who's funding Nutaku. But I've got you covered. Stick around, because it does get stickier, especially on their Discord channel. That's the glue that holds the entire marketing strategy together. I mean, Discord for game companies is standard, but their channel, it's not just active, it's on another level of active. In any case, with good gameplay, developers by your side, a crazy marketing strategy, expensive ad campaigns, and an active Discord community, you've not only grown, but generated a powerhouse of Western hentai gaming. Growth stage? Nailed.
Okay, what's the last stage? Thrive. 150
And now,
million?
Nutaku is raking in cash, featured in major publications, and their investment funds grow every single year. What's missing? Cutting-edge technology, that's what. In 2018...
As soon as they start getting Nutaku and the AI girlfriend into VR, it's over. Game over once we get to that point. Once we get to that point, the human population is going to drop. Straight up. In the West, it's going to start looking like Japan. It's going to start looking like Japan.
Nutaku added cryptocurrency as a payment option as there was growing demand for privacy in digital transactions, particularly in the porn industry.
Bro, do you know who is those crypto people? This is 100% my own biases. I have absolutely no proof behind this, but again, this is my feeling. Those crypto bros that are not also finance bros, they're just crypto bros. Probably watching a little bit of hentai, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. So like this is the perfect marketing strategy.
But again, for growing company implementing this,
giving anonymity to people that are trying to get, you know, sticky on the internet, bro, that's because you don't want to be sitting at the dinner table and your kids are there and then your wife looks at you and she's like, "Sweetie, what's this Nutaku charge for $1,000? What's this? What's that?" Because, you know, she can just look up Nutaku.
Payment infrastructure this quickly suggests some powerful help behind the scenes. I mean, Nutaku seemed to have a knack for marketing, PR, and monetization right from the get-go. And so the question remains, who's really powering Nutaku's meteoric rise? The truth is, there's a much darker force behind the scenes.
And so let me tell you that behind these closed doors isn't just Nutaku pulling the strings, but one of the biggest titans of the porn industry. MindGeek, the shadowy corporation that owns...
I almost worked at MindGeek, and I've worked in that building. And I have a buddy who works at MindGeek, actually. Well, who used to work at MindGeek.
Pretty much every adult site out there, from YouPorn, Pornhub, Brazzers, Mofos, you name it. They own Nutaku, too.
You might have heard of MindGeek before, but not in a good way. The Netflix documentary Money Shot uncovered MindGeek's complicity in allowing all sorts of illegal content, from rape videos to child pornography and sex trafficking. It was a massive scandal that even led to angry mobs burning down the $19 million mansion of Pornhub CEO Faraz Antoon. After this, he stepped down as Pornhub CEO, but didn't disappear into the dark. No. Instead, he became MindGeek's CEO. And guess what? This CEO has a brother, who's none other but President of Nutaku himself, Mark Antoon. Yes, it's a real family affair over there at MindGeek. So while Nutaku was busy marketing itself as this fun, innocent gaming site that wants to revolutionize the games industry one hand at a time, behind the scenes, it was all part of MindGeek's desperate attempt to rebrand and diversify in the wake of their public shaming. All those aggressive marketing campaigns, top-tier PR, cutting-edge payment options, millions in investment funds, all these are MindGeek's influence at work. Their in-house company, Traffic Junkie, which is, by the way, in the same building, helped Nutaku to blast their ads all over the internet and reach millions of players. You see, Nutaku's Cinderella success story was no fluke. It was orchestrated, a strategic move to polish MindGeek's image. A classic case of corporate rebranding. But that's only half the story.
Really?
It gets way darker.
It's darker
because
than this.
MindGeek, you know, loves data. Every time MindGeek hires a new person, they tell them that they'll take big data to the next level. Data is, after all, far better than cash in the bank for any digital company.
True.
And what better way to collect that data than through a gaming platform like Nutaku? Their games are designed to collect user behavior. Any puzzle, clicker, or strategy game has an inbuilt decision-making gameplay that tells them more about you than you know about yourself. What was shocking to me was that Nutaku's privacy policy outright reserves the right to collect information on pretty much everything you do on their site. From customization of content to advertising and analytics, Nutaku can send your data to anyone without restrictions. After all, MindGeek is just a web development company. Porn is merely a strategy for collecting user data. And so I wasn't surprised to learn that MindGeek is actually rebranding itself now to ILO, a rebrand that comes in response to the need for a fresh start. And so Nutaku may be the Cinderella success story in adult gaming, but MindGeek is pulling the strings behind the scenes. That's often how it goes in the world of business. The most impressive success stories are rarely as simple as they seem on the surface. Interestingly enough, on their LinkedIn page, Nutaku never explicitly reveals what they do or provide. I guess it's not exactly something you want to broadcast to the professional world, you know? And maybe that's the real lesson here. In the dog-eat-dog world of digital business, sometimes it's not just about having the best product or the flashiest marketing campaign. No, sometimes it's really just about who you know. Happy ending.
Well, damn, man, that was a good ass video. That was really good. That's informative. I learned a lot. I actually managed to keep my mouth shut for more than a minute because there's a lot of information there. And it's super sad to say I'm not surprised by any of this behavior whatsoever. I expect companies to gather data, and what better person to farm than loneliness? The best people to farm for views, for information, for money is people that are lonely and have a little bit of mental illness, just to add a little some extra, and boom, you have an infinite money glitch. That's gonna be it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and while you're down there, be sure to hit like, favorite, share, and subscribe, because we're trying to hit 300 before the end of the month. We're 28 away, and I need your help. If you don't want to, well, remember, at the end of the day, I'm just some guy on the internet, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. If you want to see more of my face, be sure you click the video you see on screen right now.